Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Felix here. I've just come in to do a a December energy update, and a little bit of a kind of what's going on with the energies and a touching base through November again, because November has been insane. Um, I've really felt so much deep transformational change through November. Um, but we'll get into that in a moment. Just doing some updates on the channel first. We're gonna have an event on the 12th, the 12 gateway, running up towards the solstice, um, as a field calibration. And I think whatever day the 12th is on, I think that that event is on the 6th, is at 6 p.m. And then following that, I will also be doing an event on the 21st, the winter solstice, at 9 p.m. UK time. But this event I'm actually going to be doing from Italy. I'm going to Italy, to Rome, to the Vatican City. And I'll be working through there on this day. So yeah, that event is going to be a solstice field calibration activation, whatever needs to come through. I've been so busy this month. I honestly, I hadn't even had time to channel this information up until maybe 4 days ago. Which normally I would start sitting down and drawing information in around the 14th, if not a little bit before. So yeah, so with all of that going on as well, for the first week, as December is my birthday month, I'm going to be doing a discount on my sessions, from the 1st, from 9 a.m. until the 7th, at 9 a.m. I'm going to be doing a discounted rate on my 1 and 2 hour sessions. So yeah, and they can be booked in anywhere through December. Bearing in mind, whilst I'm away in Italy, I won't have my sessions open for that time, and then it's going to be Christmas when I come back. So yeah, so they can be booked for January as well if you wish. That's no problem. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I was meant to do an update for the London grid work, but at the moment my guides are telling me just to stay back with this a little bit. Purely because the information is not ready to be released. So yeah, we're gonna have to sit tight on that one, and I feel it's going to be coming out more so towards February, March time. But I will let you guys know when when that time is. So yeah, so that is the business update. Oh, also we're still running the expand program as well, and would love to have people join if they feel like it. Yeah, so just taking it nice and easy on that one. So yeah, going into this update, just to talk a little bit about November, what I received for November was seeing this big red wave, and that did not change. I still feel that there was a big red wave and other people had the same vision. And it was all inaccuracy. So what we were dealing with there was another 2020 fiasco. But what I did see with this one as well was a changing of the squares going back to white. Not entirely sure what that means, but it could be like the white square of surrender, or the white flag of surrender, something along those lines. But I do feel like this will flip back. Well, that's what I saw. I just didn't mention that at the time because I wasn't entirely sure what it meant. So yeah, there's that to go in there. So yeah, November, oh my God, real deep transformational month. What I feel is that from the solstice in no, not the solstice, from the equinox in September, going through this big rebirth, I feel like October was really intense for so many people, but November there is more clarity coming in with this. It's actually, we're coming up for the pockets of air, for that breath of air when you're deep within the depths of the ocean. But we're getting these momentum points of absolute clarity, deep understanding. And what I'm also feeling through this November, which is going to carry on into December, which I'll get into talking about, or in fact, we can just go straight in and talk a little bit about this, is this complete reorientation of identity. Identity has been coming up so strongly, and knowing on a much deeper level who you are as a person, who you are as an incarnate being, who you are as a source, divine being. I think this is so vital, and really being pushed to the forefront in this level of understanding, to know who you are whilst letting go of what you are not, and what other people perceive you to be, I would say. So there is a big recognizing of the power and potential that you are. And as you come to these realizations, you come into such peace with yourself, with the mental field, with the thought flow and emotions that are coming through, because you recognize, actually, no, I'm not that layer of judgment. No, I'm not what this person has said that I am, because you're becoming aware of your light, and you're becoming aware of your purpose, and you're also in the same momentum, you're understanding how your own development is coming into a level of expansion where you can see, actually, this has all been aligned for me to really come into that depth of growth. And that was put there for a reason, for me to, or for one to upgrade themselves. It's a non-judgmental process when we remove all of these layers of stigma. It's a I want to say polarized process, when you remove all of these layers and really start to work into it. What I've also really been noticing is so many shadows coming to the forefront that are unable to withstand. And there are some on one side that are letting it get the better of them. And there are others on the other side that are actually recognize it and be like, actually, no, this is not me. This is not right. This is coming up and it's dissolving in the presence that you shall see it. It's breaking down right before your very eyes and harmonizing your flow. It's harmonizing within you. And it is such a magical thing to bear witness to. Such a magical process. And it helps you to really move into that state of gratitude, into that state of liberation, from the entrapment that we place upon ourselves, which is the absolute effing joke of it all, that we place this stuff upon ourselves to to help us grow. Yeah. And the trick of it is the limitations that we're allowing to sit upon us, which is essentially a hijacked situation. It's a hijacked, a hijacking of consciousness, really. So yeah, I find this this month has been such a month of aha moments. It's such a month of vast realization while still being within the depths of the shadow. When we come up for that breath of air and we're like, oh my God, I can breathe, I can integrate this. And then 3 minutes later, you're back down in there and you're like, okay, well, that was short but sweet, but it was worth it. And now I feel revitalized and ready to move on. And forwards deeper into this, or progressing forwards into the next set of stages of where to go. But this, I feel, is really coming to a culmination point through December, and particularly up to the solstice. I feel this complete birthing this birthing point, this forgiveness, this reconciliation, being recognized and refined and flourishing. Okay. So December, a level up and development, moving out of turmoil and into new beginnings, completion of levels of understanding and awareness. The way one thinks and perceives is another kind of aspect to it. I really do feel there is such refinement for the mental field at the moment. And also, when I was looking at this, the octahedron, plutonic solid, as well as the other ones as well, but predominantly mental field awareness and development has really been quite key in upgrading and refining the way that we're looking at things, the way that we're dealing and structuring certain situations, and coming into this new sense of awareness, both for the external world and also for ourselves, for our individualization and the exterior. Yeah, so really working into these concepts of identity as well at the moment. It's just such a fantastic time for realization, time for growth, and time for core development. Let me see. Okay, so I'll get to that one later. Right, so December, looking at this from multiple different levels, I feel, as we've just touched base on the mental field and the mindset of the public, I feel that what I saw in this vision was essentially a scene from Christmas, and within this vision, I was seeing families struggling and stressing and not knowing how they can provide for their families. Now, we're going to just take this from a neutral perspective. I'm going to add in my own kind of feelings to this and just kind of get into where this is going, because this does develop into something really great, actually. So yeah, I'm seeing these families struggling to afford light bulbs, changing light bulbs, and really being able to provide for their family and kind of bring the whole dinner together, the whole Christmas tradition. But that being said, as this progressed, what I'm seeing is the families becoming resourceful in their mentality, resourceful in their operations, and thinking really outside of the box in their, I want to say survival, because, well, it is a kind of survival, but thinking outside of their box, getting more creative with their ideas of Christmas. And I just thought that Christmas was not just, it's not just for Christmas, it's going to be a kind of extension here. But I was just thinking with this, the families that I was seeing with this are finding alternative ways to gift presents. They're finding alternative dining methods. They're doing this, that, and the other to kind of still bring it as a unified thing, a unified structure. Now, really, really great with this. What I was intuiting is I'm finding that the families were being okay with, the children included, were being okay with not having to spend all this money on material kind of aspects to Christmas. They're moving away from this need for things, for all of these non-substantial things. And because it moves into this level of creativity, this level of alternative gift giving, and it's bringing it back to that heart core essence. It's bringing it back to that unconditional love. And this is what I feel sets this whole Christmas apart from every other previous one, is well, in my life anyway, or within the collectives as well. When I've kind of grown up, it's always been about presents, it's been about this, that, and the other kind of thing. But what it does is it moves back into the heart. It moves back into unification. And I really, really strongly feel that that appreciation is fluctuating throughout the world. It's that connection to one another, that joy, that spark. Now, I've not always been one for Christmas, to be honest, but it does feel like it's going to be a special one this year. It really, really does. So, finding appreciation with family time and friendship, recognizing infinite abundance possibilities within a world, within this kind of loving time. And it's not just the abundance of material things or money, it's going into the abundance of joyous emotion, it's going into the abundance of love, it's going into the abundance of togetherness and unity. So it really, really, really does feel like such a shift is taking place for so many people. It feels like completion, so to speak. You know, this felt really nice. It felt really good to kind of get to that point and recognize this. Now, the next kind of topic that I was looking towards or was receiving was that many people within this cleanup of themselves, of reconciliation within their fields, is really going to be coming forward as looking for problems within oneself when actually discovering that there are no problems at all. It's it's breaking down these constructs that we place upon ourselves and coming to peace with them. And I know I've kind of just touched base on that a little bit with the previous topic before, the materialization of things. But I'm also finding that people are going to be having deeper realizations, deeper integral flows, and coming into such aha moments through December, which to me is just so perfect, I think, because there's a lot that's going on at the moment energetically, and 3 months of it has been hard enough. However, a fourth, being able to come into that kind of actualized state of being and to be able to really unify, or at least bridge some of these connections together, which I do see coming in for many people, would just be such a gift in and of itself, I would say. And this all feels more like on an individualized level. So yeah, on the opposite side of this, though, what I've also kind of seen is seeing this people getting caught up in their own energy. So people struggling to kind of understand where they're kind of going with things, getting caught up in polarity, getting caught up in getting caught up in their own emotion. So when something rises to release, say if it's fear or doubt, that gets stuck in the mind, and then it goes around like that cycle of addictive pattern where we get caught up in the negative spirals of thought. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing that as well. But what I also feel with this is that they're more willing to reach out for help, and this is kind of going back into November where we um discussed about the village setting. I think this was November. The village setting, and changing the positions within the village. So I think it was November. I can't always remember. Might be October. So going through that village setting and just seeing how that's really developing, into changing your characteristics and seeing things from a different point of view, a different perspective. Now, as they're reaching out and more willing and able to kind of connect into the idea of opening up for help instead of being all caged off and closed down, not wanting to share their problems due to shame or whatever they're kind of going through, is that they want to resolve these things, which I think I see this as a real massive step forwards for so many people. They're not shy about talking about their issues or the problems because then it's becoming more normal, and it's being more understood as well, being more understood in the way to make it comfortable, but not in a kind of I want to say not like a maybe not. Ancora smagliato Boyena. Ja, ancora sa smart ashas. I feel that it's received with more genuine eyes, so there's not more chance for hijack, if that makes sense. And by hijack, I mean it can't be kind of manipulated, or that can also be internally. Whereas before, many people would potentially feel shame for discussing their issues openly. I feel now, and that would have led to potentially more shutdown, more closing down. Now I feel that people are actually, I was like, okay, this is okay to feel this way. It's okay to express myself and express my hurt. And I can really feel this through my heart now. I feel this is very accurate, that people are more able to be honest with themselves because they just want to get over it. Whatever they're going through, they just want to get over it. They just want to learn and grow for themselves after being shut down for so long and closed down. There's a big portion of them that are just ready to kind of break through and really open themselves up to this possibility of peace. And I think that's actually where it's coming from. It's like we've gone through so much in our lives. Where do I draw my boundaries and say enough is enough? Where do I define myself in my own self-care, self-love routine? Where do I choose to be there for myself? And that's really kind of another big push going on there. I mean, that was like possibly 3 different energetic themes in one, but yeah. So again, so much with that, and I feel that's actually just touched base into my next topic, which I'm gonna just try and find, because I had a more well-rounded writing about this. But this book is so full right now. I need to get a new one. Let's see. Yay, I think we're almost here. Right, okay. So this was really interesting to me because what I was seeing here, it was actually the first thing that I saw. Let me just see what. Yeah, this was about the 20th of September. 20, not sorry, not 20th of September, 20th of November. I saw this. And what I was essentially seeing was a capsizing ship and many people jumping off this capsizing ship. So I felt immediately with this, it was going into like collective disclosure. It was going into the world stage. And kind of I mean, there were many tiers to this, but predominantly the world stage, I was seeing this people jumping off a sinking ship, plea deals and bargains and arrests happening. However that may look in the mainstream, which we know that they like to cover things up, and change the narrative to suit the mainstream. I feel with this potentially to the forefront, I feel there's going to be some big disclosure coming forwards through December, or something quite hefty along those lines. I mean, the people who watch these videos tend to know where to look. But yeah, I'm also seeing like these plea deals happening, the bargainings, or essentially just full straight out arrests going on. So this is quite interesting to me, because having that coming forwards through December, I think that would be quite interesting. One thought that did come into my mind when I was on the phone to my friend Astra, I think it was Astra, was this whole concept of the EBS going off through December, potentially. I mean, potentially before Christmas or through Christmas, when the family is all together and they're within a safe space, if that makes sense. So that was one thing. I mean, I'm just putting that out there. I don't really think it is or it isn't going to happen, but I felt like that could be a potential scenario. I mean, I've been very much on the fence with EBSs for a while, but now there's talk of it again. And I personally feel with that, it's like minimum impact as possible to the collective, because many are in such a fragile state at the moment. Having something really shocking coming to the forefront is not going to do any good for their bodies. It's not going to do any good for the mental health. It's not going to do any good for them. However, on the other hand, truth needs to come out. So it's kind of looking at the previous levels of intel and information coming forwards, and how that actually translates to the manifestation in the reality. And so many people are looking to, oh my God, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, without looking at the trends, the flows of actualized manifestation, to keep it bubbling over without causing too much impact, you know? I'm talking from the perspective of the white hats here. And then, you know, there's this kind of stuff that's kind of being overlooked by some, and I think it's just kind of good to work with discernment on these things, and just intuitively check in with your own feelings, but then reflect into how presentations have been shown on the world stage. Even with the black hats, there is a level of subtlety to it. Obviously now with the veils thinning, more and more each month or each day, however you wish to perceive this viewpoint, the veils thinning and the awareness expanding through the collective, the awareness of the ones who are already knowing, it's very much apparent. And that in and of itself is something to take into consideration when discerning how you perceive your reality, but then juxtapose that level of awareness to somebody who has been ingrained in media for 50 years, who has been brought up in heavily conditioned environments. You know, for them to go through that is going to break their heart, you know, and there's going to be a lot of resistance. And it's not a case of, oh, well, they should have woken up, because I can't believe they're not finding this out, because really this is all subject down to the design of their awakening, of their blueprints, when divine timing is right for them to awaken and aware and become aware. It's a gradual process, you know, and I think it's just so important just to bear that in mind and to really bring it back to compassion, bring it back to understanding. And when we kind of see it from that perspective, we can neutralize completely within that level of awareness. We can neutralize the need for something to happen, because within that we're looking at an imbalance within ourselves. If we're craving and needing something to erupt and open up, that's coming from a place of complete inner frustration, inner anger. And this, again, another really great topic that's been coming up within clients that I've been working with, is breaking down that anger, that resistance, that frustration, and coming into a complete opened, expanded understanding of this whole flow of consciousness, playing itself out in a world. It's when we hold ourselves in that heavy state of materialism, when we're more ingrained in the physical reality and less aware of our higher states of being, that's when we kind of lose ourselves in that momentum of emotion, of angry thoughts, of repetitive patterns of behavior. And then we're losing touch with the ethereal side. We're losing touch with the divine. And I do feel like it's so important to try and waken ourselves up to this multi-dimensional viewpoint of how everything is playing out at the moment, not just third dimensionally. We're looking fourth, we're looking fifth, we're looking sixth. We can see beyond that and understand why all of these different traits are really kind of interplaying at this moment. So that being said, like I just mentioned, this big progression of coming into peace with the whole situation within the world, and then being able to move through it with grace and elegance, moving through it as the angelic, as the Arcturian, as the Pleiadian. You know, it's finding that within us and becoming peaceful within that expression, you know, not getting attached into the storylines that we see running through the Truther community, and certainly becoming aware of our level of susceptibility of this kind of other people's energy coming into, or other people's concepts coming into our own sphere without connecting to our inner being, without connecting to that discernment, without connecting to our own truth. Do we align to this truth? Do we adopt a little bit of it? Do we take the whole thing? Do we not take any of it? You know, but even if we don't take any of it, still explore it, because there might be some nuggets of truth within that that need to be kind of integrated and understood to really kind of get you moving forwards. And there's always a hidden nugget of truth, or a golden nugget within every interaction that you're having, as mundane as it can be, as miserable as it can be. There is always something within that that's gonna ping you right up to the top and get you back to where you want to be, happy and joyous, because you've then gone through this level of understanding and integration, and upgraded that level of awareness when you sit there and really absorb it and bring it through you, even if it's just to say, actually, no, I don't need this, but I've just leveled up my own intuitive abilities. I've leveled up and I've understood my own processing system so much more, my own guidance structure, and I've understood where I am at this moment in relation to the relationship with this information. Fascinating topics when you really dive into these things and sit there with yourself in meditation and kind of go through these opposing subjects, because there's just so much growth that comes through it. Now, I understand I was meant to be doing an energy report this month, but I feel like I've just gone on and gassed all the way through this, and I've thrown some energetic themes that are coming forwards in December. I've talked a little bit about November, and we've also had a bit of a chit chat and a bit of a conversation, which I've actually really enjoyed talking with you or to you. It depends on how you look at it. You can leave me a comment down below if you want. We can discuss. Yeah, I really do feel like this has been a very useful topic of conversation, both for myself and I hope so for you guys too. I feel good, and I'm going to continue feeling good because I really enjoy thinking out loud and sharing the enigma that is my mind with you guys. So yeah, on that note, thank you all. I wish you all a wonderful Christmas, holiday, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world, and a fabulous new year. I mean, really amazing. Just remember that unification is always there, ready for you to jump in and connect into it. And it's going to be so much more apparent this year. So yeah, I will see you either on the 12th or on the 21st. You can pop to my website and book onto those sessions if you wanted. And remember as well, I do have that discount running from the 1st to the 7th. And I'm also going to be heading home to see family. It's my mom's birthday. Tomorrow, actually, Sunday. When I'm filming this is the 26th of November at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to be heading home on the 1st of December for a few days. Just to touch base with everyone and see the baby. Yeah, my brother's child, which I'm looking forward to very much so. Just before my birthday. So yeah, and if you want to just do a little meditation with me now, that will be most welcome and most loved. And just take yourself down into presence, connecting to the breath, opening through the sunrise, solar light, connecting through the horizontal axis as it rises through the sphere. Illumination through the vertical tones of rose to rich magenta as we breathe in, spirals of aqua, golden glitter, connect through the pillar, through the central point. Yakoras ma ataponia mahia. Geometries spin through the horizon and connect through the earth elemental along the horizontal axis line. Purification of the spinal column. We're seeing these geometries now align through the vertical column, through the vertical pillar, and spin dissolving miasma, golden glitter moving down through the vertical pillar, connecting into each vertebrae of the spine, running through into the spinal cord, through the cranial sacrum, through the tendons, through the muscles. Loosening up tension through the neck joins, through the cranial sacrum, running up into left side temple, right side temple. All of these muscles I feel becoming super loose. Connecting in to the northern star. And seeing this moving down through the pillar. Illuminating the indigo. Running through the sun dunes, updating through suns of time. Crystallizing through the water bodies. opening up map progressions, inlaying coordinates. Expansion of the heart as the pathways around you illuminate. Crystal stairs beneath your feet. Crystal aquatones undulate beneath the pathways, rising up through sine wave modulations. Expansion through all bodies and updating through the toroidal fields. Feeling heaviness release, lift and release from the heart. Acknowledging any sadness, any despair. The template of the goddess, the god goddess. Moving forth through center into connection through toroidal flows, updating to universal tree of life. Yellow and blue tones move through the back and connect through the feminine. restoring fleur-de-lis reversals back to the organic. And releasing out any metal, releasing out any anti-life architecture. And releasing out the circuitry through the feminine body. Connecting, I'm actually feeling so much pain coming through the right side abdomen, the left side abdomen, sorry. And connecting in the tetrahedron as it ignites, spins through center and ignites through the body. And bringing forth a four-petaled crystal flower to birth through this location. I'm also seeing a shamrock as well, like a celestite blue shamrock, a pastel blue crystal tone. And releasing out artificial electric currents. Feeling and acknowledging any fear that is arising. Expansion through the abdomen. I am feeling a bit of pain coming through the back right solar plex, but more so into the waistline muscles. And again, seeing more metal release, metal tentacle-esque shapes coming forwards here. Connecting into the waterfalls and the running water energies. And purifying through your integral structures with this divine water of Niagara Falls. I'm also seeing this as a cleansing for the divine masculine blueprints as well, of the divine masculine body. And we're going to update now through all fields and all localized grids. Taking a breath. We're going to steal forward now through all levels and layers of light, stealing forward through the I am. Thank you so much for listening today. I do have Self-Care Sunday coming up. It's going to be on, I think it's on the 4th of December, the first Sunday of the month. I don't have a calendar at hand. But yeah, that's going to be at 6 p.m. And I'll leave the links down below for everything, and the Zoom details down below. So I will look forward to seeing you there. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful December, and I'll catch you in the new year. Okay, guys, lots of love. Bye.